COVID protocols, a trade request, and World Junior rosters started to be revealed. That's all part of today's Hockey Podcast News Pack.
Started off as a PG podcast, but then Devin just kept on dropping shits and fucks, and
I'm just trying to figure out what's in her mouth.
I just want to see him interview Francesco Accoli.
No, he's a good human being, is what he would say about himself, I'm sure.
Who's hosting this thing?
Take charge, Kevin. Would you? Jesus.
First time we ever met those guys. That was the major drunken pub argument.
I think you guys are the worst.
I'm gonna have to probably watch some Canucks hockey, unfortunately.
Just making friends left, right, and center, and probably some enemies as well.
Tell him to shut up. He needs to hear that every once in a while.
Off to a good start.
All right. We are live.
It's okay to talk when it goes live.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hockey Podcast. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at podcast_hockey, Facebook.com, the Hockey Podcast, YouTube.com, the Hockey Podcast. You can like, share, and subscribe also to our audios of our hockey of our podcast. Of course, reminders about retweeting and sharing our content gives you an opportunity to win tickets to the April 23rd game between the Vancouver Canucks and the Calgary Flames with the Pig and Duke. You have an opportunity to have a beer before the game, hang out with Sean, Devin, and Chris at the game. The word of the week this week is change, CHANGE. Let's get to the news of the day here, and we just missed this yesterday, so I do want to start with this very quickly. Jake Debrusk has asked for a trade from the Boston Bruins. He was scratched from the lineup on Sunday against the Vancouver Canucks, is expected to be in the lineup tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. We'll get into why in a bit of a moment here, but it's been a tough couple of years, and Debrusk's name is out there in terms of requesting a trade. Don Sweeney did talk about that today as well, so they will work to accommodate that. But Jake Debrusk will be a name that we will be hearing as part of trade packages and trade rumors going forward. And that leads us to COVID protocol, which is there'll be lots of this, and that includes the Boston Bruins, as head coach Bruce Cassidy is on COVID protocol. The Boston Bruins have several issues with COVID protocol right now, and that actually also is down to the Providence Bruins as well. Their AHL club has that going on as well. As of course, we have the Bruce Cassidy and several players, Bruce Cassidy in there, so he will not be coaching. The GM Don Sweeney says the team is unable to call up players from the NHL Providence Bruins because of the COVID outbreak on that team. So the Bruins are in a bit of a tough bind here, and not the only team out there right now with players on the COVID list. Tyler Bozak from the St. Louis Blues on the COVID list. Cody Ceci of the Edmonton Oilers on that COVID list as well. And in the OHL, the Sudbury Wolves are also in the have canceled operations for now, as they have 12 players on COVID protocol. So we are in another bit of a dip here with COVID cases in hockey. So Frank Saravelli shared a tweet a little bit earlier today about a report coming out as a memorandum here, as I'll just pull the information up here. Looks like a memo was sent to all 32 teams. It's going to cancel all holiday parties in addition to public engagements and events for the month, basically for the month of December. It's all club organized holiday parties for the season shall be canceled until further notice. Player and club personnel shall refrain from participating in autograph sessions open to the public, public speaking engagements, and public charity events. And player or staff are reminded to limit the amount of exposure they have to large groups over the holidays, including large family gatherings, in order to reduce the risk of introducing infections into their team. So the gates are closing in right now on teams, so around hockey, so that's something for sure to keep an eye out. Some returns in hockey coming back. Drew Doughty is expected to return tonight against the Anaheim Ducks, so Drew Doughty could be playing against the Calgary Flames on Thursday as well. He's skated in full contact jersey last Wednesday for the first time since October 22nd when he injured his knee. And so that could be someone that is coming back there as well. Jack Hughes expected to return tonight against for the New Jersey Devils against the San Jose Sharks. And Nathan Mackinnon is expected to return Wednesday against for the Colorado Avalanche in their game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So some returns there as well to look at. And the U.S. selection camp has been named today, and it does include Matty Beniers. It does also include Flames first-round pick Matthew Coronado. And so that is an interesting list. Well, there's a couple of other names I wanted to touch on here as well as far as Canada goes. That list will be out as well this tomorrow. They are expected to announce as well. Sean Behrens will be on that list. Sasha Pashajov, Mackie Samsevich, Gaia, Mark Coronado, Matty Beniers, as mentioned, Jake Sanderson, Luke Hughes as well. So an interesting name there, Chaz Lucius as well on that list. So some interesting names on that. As mentioned, Canada will be doing that list tomorrow. We'll talk about that. Matthew Nees from the University of Minnesota on that list as well. So should be interesting that World Junior tournament going on in Edmonton. And there was a trade today in the National Hockey League involving the Ottawa Senators, who did grab the Adam Gaudette off waivers. They continue to add players. They acquired Cole Sherwood from the Nashville Predators. That is for future considerations. So that is another move. And Bill Peters. Remember Bill Peters? He former coach of the Flames. It was about a year ago right now, or not even a year ago. Wait, I'm sorry, that was 2020. 2 years ago. It seems like just 2019 that we had the Bill Peters, Akeem Alou tweet. And around this time, he has been fired as head coach of Avtomolis in the KHL. And basically that has happened. He was been coaching there. There has been no indication of any punishment towards Bill Peters in the NHL at this point, and where that investigation is going, and how that investigation has happened. Of course, if you remember during the during the Chicago Blackhawks press conference debacle, Gary Bettman and Bill Daly said that the investigation was complete, but there was a tweet from Akeem Alou's agent that investigation, no one has mentioned anything about that. So that's still on the radar as well. We are back tomorrow. We will be having Graham Mosman on for a conversation about what's going on up north in the Edmonton Oilers land. I'm looking forward to discussing where the Stanley Cup Parade is going. Will it start at the Ledge and end at West Edmonton Mall? Or does it start at West Edmonton Mall and end at the Ledge? Do we have a special appearance from Wayne Gretzky? I'm looking forward to chatting with Graham. We haven't had him on yet this year. Meanwhile, again, retweet our podcasts, our audio, our hockey clips, our regular episodes, for a chance to win tickets to the Vancouver Canucks and the Calgary Flames in April. Follow us again on Twitter, podcast_hockey. Follow Sean Beardy Canucks 03 on Twitter. We also have Schneids is Chris is Schneids, SCHNEIDZ, Tyler TNOBLE, Devin Gord Howe 09. I am KEVOLE, Facebook.com, The Hockey Podcast, YouTube.com, The Hockey Podcast. This is the Hockey Podcast News Pack for Tuesday, November 3rd. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. We will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.